So with our first example, we're asked to solve a system of equations by graphing. We're given that y equals 3x plus 4 and y equals 2x minus 2. A word of caution that in this section or in assessments, quizzes, or assignments that you're asked to solve by graphing, it's fine to solve by graphing in those instances, but if you're just asked to solve, I would suggest only using the graphing method as a check. And the reason for that is because it can be a little bit inaccurate. In these instances, they're designed to, when you're asked to solve by graphing, they're designed to intersect at integer coordinates. But in general, equations aren't always going to intersect, and systems aren't always going to have solutions that are integer coordinates, and therefore it's much better to, as you'll learn in the next section, how to solve algebraically instead of graphically. So we'll start with, we can just make a chart to graph. We could use the intercepts, but we want more points than that just to verify that we're graphing correctly. So let's start with -6. When x equals -6, 3 times -6 plus 4, that equals -18 plus 4, which equals -14. So we have a point of -6, -14. We'll go ahead and make a scale. Let's label our axes first. You should always label your axes. And that's just simply part of graphing. And then we'll make each tick mark represent 2 units. So to graph -6, -14, -2, -4, -6, -2, -4, -6, -8, -10, -12, -14. So we have a point right here. And then we'll go ahead and we'll skip to -2. When y equals -2, or when x equals -2, y equals 3 times -2 plus 4, which equals -6 plus 4, which equals -2. So we have a point at -2, -2. So -2, -2, we have a point right here. And then we'll go ahead and find the y-intercept as well. So let x equal 0, y equals 3 times 0 plus 4, which equals 4. So we have a point at 0, 4. So 0, 2, 4. And then we will draw a line through those 3 points. And again, you can pick any 3 points, but I would suggest using at least 3. The reason for that is because you want to make sure that all 3 points line up. So there is our first line. That's our y equals 3x plus 4. Now we will go ahead and switch over to y equals 2x minus 2. So we'll make our chart again, x, y. We'll start with -6 again. We'll use the same 3 x coordinates. So at -6, y equals 2 times -6 minus 2, which equals -12 minus 2, which equals -14. So we ended up with, we lucked out, and we have the same point on both lines. We'll go ahead and finish this out, but we already know what the solution is because that's where they intersect. Y equals, or when x equals -2, y equals 2 times -2 minus 2, which equals -4 minus 2, which equals -6. So -2, -6. We graph that point. And then when x equals 0, y equals 2 times 0 minus 2, which equals -2. So go ahead and graph that point here as well. And then again, just connect the points for our graph of y equals 2x minus 2. And where the 2 lines intersect, That is the solution to the system of equations. So the solution is -6, -14.